Pisces, the most adaptable sign there is, represented by the water element, the final in its sequence. Pisces is as fluid as water and acts the same way water does when you pour it into something. It takes on its shape. Now, one form you can commonly find Pisces taking is the form of a hustler. You can have some very good legal salesmen and women in Pisces, as Pisces is all about fairness and making sure everyone's getting a good deal. It's more than just money. Pisces will want you to feel good about what you buy from them. But on the dark side, when we're talking hustling, we're talking dealers. Whether it's in the streets or working for Big Pharma, Pisces can easily be found wheeling and dealing in there. Shooting dice on the corner, running their mouth and taking your money, to waiting by the phones, offering their services, doing in and out calls. But for topic's sake, let's stick to your everyday citizen and making money. Pisces is a sign you can catch on those street corners or in a nitty's house miles away from home. So how do we end up there? How does a fish known for its empathy and compassion end up in a dangerous place like street dealing? Making money illegally? Well, it's pretty simple really. Let's weigh up the basic options. We have working an ordinary 9-to-5 job, or we have an illegal self-employed business. Now, as we all know, in a typical sense, the 9-to-5 life is not for Pisces. It's too time sensitive, time consuming, draining, people pleasing, busy, deadlines, degrading, operating out of fear of being fired, fake smiles, ass kissing, and the list goes on. It's not even 9-to-5. That doesn't include the commute times. Some people do 6 to 8. This is not for Pisces who have a career they are passionate about. That's a lucky and fortunate Pisces. Work won't even feel like work to these Pisces. But a Pisces who has a job solely for paying their bills, all these things will be a problem. You can say, well, everyone can hate their job and hate that they don't have freedom, etc. And that's true. But when it's Pisces, this shit hits hard. Cause Pisces is a sign that literally needs freedom. Freedom to think, freedom to create, freedom to just live and be. Pisces does not like any sort of obvious fishing net. A free Pisces is a happy Pisces. Could be a very avoidant and irresponsible one too, but nonetheless, it's a happy fish. The 9-to-5 world is the Virgo world. It's all about routines, time strict, heavily structured, consistent, repetitive. All that shit is the opposite to the nature of the free-flowing fish. This world is set up in a Virgo-y, Capricorn-y way, i.e., it's not what Pisces will be comfortable with by default. How Pisces grows up and who they have influencing them will be key here, cause Pisces are moldable and at early stages can be highly impressionable. The ideal scenario for a Pisces is if they are put into some sort of creative field from early where there is a clear pathway there. Like say you as a parent clock your Pisces child loves Lego on a next level. They literally come alive when building things, the complex ones too. You should steer them in the direction of engineering, as it's a progressive path. They can go uni and study for whatever engineering degree, then come out and have many creative engineering fields to explore. Have a clear career path. This is very generalized, but you get what I'm saying. Pisces needs some sort of guidance like this before they enter the real world, like before leaving formal education. It just lessens the chances of that dark fish getting creative. Cause even if a job or career is a problem for Pisces, tapping in and getting money isn't. It's just how they get money. So when it's a Pisces who is creative as hell and has no direct plan with what to do with their gifts, it becomes likely the fish will end up cutting corners when money becomes an issue. So if it's that fish who, let's say, didn't do great in school, left school with no clear direction, they're just out in the world and don't know where to go, the underworld will start calling. Even if it's a Pisces that's great at something creative like making beats, some young aspiring producer. Pisces will naturally be good in areas where it's harder to see financial success because it requires a lot of self-belief, communication and drive, and luck. Like creative fields. In many of these fields it's not structured, as say studying to become a lawyer, where the end goal is to pass a test, get qualified, then the world's your oyster in that field. Can start your own firm or join one. The Pisces producer can go college, study music, etc. But the real success will come from landing a big placement with a known artist off their own back, off their own talent. Making a hit. You don't need college or anything like that to make it creatively. You just have to be willing to put yourself out there, work hard for yourself and believe. But even then, success is not guaranteed and Pisces can literally be the type to be creative because they just like it. It's nothing to do with money. They could love to act, be a brilliant actor, and have no motivation to be the next star in the cinema. Heard of the term starving artists? This is Pisces if not guided properly from early. They can end up talented as hell, but broke. Cause they don't care about no ordinary job. Their dream is to earn off their creativity, but have no motivation to be competing for placements and things like that. Even with the most powerful Mars sign in their chart, Pisces energy can override all of that and have a talented, non-moving procrastinator. So just to paint a picture of who you are typically dealing with here in Pisces, some Pisces get a break, some do actually make it this way. It's not a hopeless dream, but in the meantime, the older they get, the more money and materials will matter. Unless they don't mind being a scrounger or homeless. So we've got a Pisces broke, talented and has no career prospects, and needs money to survive. This is where Pisces will start looking at what they own. What can I sell? What can I do without? This is where I mention Pisces women can easily find themselves in the adult industry. One way or another, there will always be something alluring about Pisces women, so it won't be hard to excel there and rake money in with it not feeling like work. As a Pisces man, I used to think, if I ever hit rock bottom, I'll just offer my services to lonely widows and MILFs. Cause I've got the motion in the ocean and a sword that invokes emotion, so why not get paid for it? The fish loves to fuck. But in all seriousness, that can cross a Pisces mind and be a chosen pathway. Hustling your body. On top of life, bills, financial responsibilities, Pisces may even have an addiction to feed. So that's another expense. This is where the people will start beeping on a Pisces radar. One way or another, Pisces will start leaning on people. When they run out of things to sell to keep afloat, people becomes the focus. This leaning can veer off into many different directions. It can be begging. Pisces may be that family member always asking for money. They may consider getting a job here, as this is when they hit rock bottom financially. The dream can feel over. But if it's the Pisces who's around people operating illegally, or is from that sort of area, grew up around that sort of life, this is when the hustler in Pisces comes alive. Cause dealing with people as a Pisces is like taking candy from a baby. An unexpected baby, cause let's be real, those babies' grip strengths be strong as hell. The thing with Pisces and people is, Pisces is naturally attuned to others' needs and wants. People will tell Pisces things all the time. Pisces knows what people like cause they tell Pisces. Pisces knows what people are like cause they show Pisces. So when Pisces is in a state of need, Pisces will feed this need by aligning with what another needs. It's still in a selfless way, but adding their self on the end of it. Like, I need money, so what does others need that I can merge with to make money from it? It's still putting others first, but to benefit off it now. Pisces are natural salespeople. Even the quietest Pisces you know, trust me, if they are in a state of need and you give them the task of selling something, you're gonna meet a natural salesperson in the fish that will even surprise the Pisces themselves. So Pisces can easily get into selling basic shit from here. may look at wholesale clothes, wigs, trainers, games. Pisces will start looking at materials that others like. They will look at things that comforts people. They will try to align with the material world to do this, and with Venus exalted in the sign, it makes this very easy for Pisces to do. For Pisces to spot value and know its worth and what it means to people. Never underestimate the fish's ability to relate to people. When it comes to having an eye for luxury and quality things and knowing what people will like, Pisces can excel here. They may even find a love for fashion this way. Go from buying clothes to sell to designing their own clothes. Do these names sound familiar to you? Alexander McQueen, Kenzo, Moschino, they are all Pisces. The fish can be into fashion and designer from a child, but when broke and looking at others is where Pisces can find their love for it.
It's all Venus, baby.
But what is happening as Pisces embarks on this journey is, they literally start seeing all the pros and cons. They will start deep in the what ifs. What if I stock up on this and it doesn't sell? What if I design this and no one likes it? It's typical worries, but when Pisces starts getting into their business mind, they become like Virgos. They become what they initially don't like. So when it comes to making money, Pisces becomes a perfectionist, basically. They become self-employed Virgos, whereas Virgo is like the employed worker. They become critical, they focus on the details, they lock in on people like a shark. And that Pisces works well with people, but also wants surety in their investments. What will always cross a Pisces mind is dealing, hustling, as there will always be a demand and supply world going on there due to it not easily being bought in shops. I know they're making things like weed legal in certain states now, but in general, things only available underground or if you're like a medical professional. Pisces will start seeing opportunities and money signs. Now, of course, there's levels to this, but as in a Pisces who's starting from the street, knows people and has got access to supplies, this way starts to entice the fish, and I'll explain why. So with hustling, there's typically no time structure. There's no wage ceiling. It's anytime pay. No waiting until the end of the month where you've accumulated debt. You have freedom. You work for yourself or can eventually work for yourself. It's quick interactions with people. Lots of traveling. Lots of alone time. Lots of spare time to work on whatever else you're into. All you need is money to invest, which you can start out very low. And you obviously need customers, which is not hard to find if you go looking in the right places. Go out to a bar with the intention of getting paid and not laid, and you'll see the real benefits of the nightlife. These things are always in demand, so compare that to the 9-to-5 life. What sounds more suitable for the nature of the fish? Oh, there's the big risk of going prison and losing all you make. But Pisces won't be worried about this. They naturally know about losses and prisons coming from the 12th house. This is why Pisces can be fearless in these areas, because they subconsciously know how to maneuver in them and avoid ending up in them. Pisces won't be scared of someone trying to run off with the product and not pay, because they'll already have it in them for what they'll have to do to teach this person a lesson when they catch them next. When Pisces enters dark places, that's when the dark fish comes alive, and it's where Pisces realizes another side to them that can operate as comfortable down there as if it's daytime and safe. As soon as Pisces enters this world, they will feel aligned and prepared for whatever consequences comes with it. Cause the dark isn't scary if money's involved. The fish will partake with greed hugging its soul, prepared to risk it all, and that is something you want, and may take all you got with a snub or a coat, cause Pisces is the type to creep up and take. If you resist, you can get beat up and dazed. Moving low key with peas tucked in safe, hustling anything from brown, green buds to flake. Now again, this is not going to resonate with every Pisces. It's not to say you need to grow up in a rough area to be selling. I've known wealthy college guys from nice areas that used to be selling. I've known ordinary people with spare money investing into that world to make a profit. Once you got money, you can get workers easily. It's not hard to hold power there if you've got the money and the heart for what comes with it, because a lot of people have the same ideas in that world. But this is for those fishes that basically had no interest in the Virgo world 9 to 5 and didn't find success early in a creative field. People will start looking like money to the fish. Pisces is home to many dealers, underground workers, and it's a completely another world going on amongst the average Joes and Joanna's life. Some getting high on their own supply and some not getting high because they supply. What makes things tricky with Pisces is a very elusive and low-key sign. Like, it's easy for Pisces to stay hidden and discreet. So in a world where this is somewhat essential, it's another alignment. Neptune's fog keeps Pisces hidden. You need luck on your side when illegally working for yourself, and Pisces is ruled by the planet of luck in Jupiter. Having the ability to strike fair deals and relate to damn near anybody, Pisces has that ability due to the Venus exaltation. With these energies at play and in need of money, you'll be surprised how far it can take Pisces. It's literally why you'll find Pisces there. Pisces can even enter this game innocent and honest, but can quickly find out people get loyal here. People get double-crossed. People get robbed of everything by others in the game and the law. You'd think that will deter the fish, but witnessing this whilst being aligned with it is what makes the other fish come out in shark mode. What you will think scares Pisces only makes them adapt to it and becomes what scares them. And this is where you can meet a greedy, ruthless and cold person in Pisces if they go deep enough. Charles Ponzi and the Ponzi scheme will be the least of your worries. You can lose a lot more than money messing with Pisces in this world. And this is where Pisces starts moving like the dark side of Capricorn, the oldest and most materialistic earth sign and the penultimate feminine sign before Pisces. The resemblances are uncanny when you see how the dark side of these two signs are. Einstein once said, "Learning is the beginning of wealth. Searching and learning is where the miracle process all begins." The great breakthrough in your life comes when you realize that you can learn anything you need to learn to accomplish any goal that you set for yourself. This means there are no limits on what you can be, have, or do. This is great on the light side of Pisces, but also works great on their dark side. Another thing is, as I said with Pisces having many talents but no direction, it can be similar to Geminis, although Geminis are way more present in the physical world. But with Pisces, they won't just be a dealer. They have direction now. The soul is focused on money and sees all the illegal avenues to it whilst operating in the dark. So they'll also be robbers. If you cross them, they'll use you. They may own side hustles, may become pimps. Pisces will tie it all together: sex, money and drugs. There's no running to police and reporting your illegal stuff's missing. In the hustling world, Pisces can run amok, cause the dark side of Venus will eventually shine bright like the morning star through Pisces, and you'll be dealing with a money-hungry demon. Fairness? Oh, none of that. Love? Oh, definitely none of that. It'll be a greedy fish eating everything in its pathway who will only be loyal to their team if they have one. Pisces are lovely when they dream, but when it's a Pisces who has 2 feet on the ground in the dope game, hustling, ruthless shark, nothing less. They will be as possessive as Taurus, as precise as Virgo, and as calculative as Capricorn. Pisces will use the energies of the earth signs to balance themselves, especially Virgo and Taurian energy. And you'll find Pisces comfortably sitting down in that world. Fearless and wealthy. I was just about to list many names, but what's the point? Just look up known drug dealers, especially Italian mafia ones, and see how much of them are Pisces. It will surprise you. It will be hard for Pisces to just stay as a hustler unless they are really antisocial. They may just make their money and keep their head low. But other Pisces will end up being big time bosses, running many operations behind the scenes, being the secret backbone to all of them, operating in and controlling many networks running underground. Remember, Scorpio runs the underworld, Hades and Pluto. Just remember who Pisces is to Scorpio and who Hades is to Zeus and Poseidon and Aphrodite. It's all connected. It's family members and it can all be connected through Pisces. Pisces operates best in the subway, out of the light, and no one's really to blame but the Pisces. We all make the choices, but it's like life is not set up in a Pisces favour. You are programmed from a toddler to basically get into the structure of working and routine. Get up early, go do work, then come home, rest, rinse and repeat. That's Virgo's way. Not everyone is suited to that type of life. Thankfully, there's many variations and options of that life these days, with like working from home or working for a company with flexible hours and stuff. But Pisces is the opposite way to Virgo. They craft out a path for themselves or try to, and one of the lowest barriers to entry is hustling. So don't be surprised when a fish ends up there, even if it's just to try it out. And then realizing it's as simple as do re mi, cause they adapt to it as easy as saying ABC. A Pisces I know very well was in that world. I had a discussion with him a couple weeks ago and asked about his experience. So he said that he spent 10 years of his life hustling, shotting, trapping, whatever you call it where you're from. His whole 20s basically. He said he made a lot of money and never had any serious run-ins with police from how low-key he moved. He said he don't recommend it, but will understand if people like him end up there. It's only a dark place if you don't hold a torch. He said he done well in school academically and said he tried going from college into work. He was disappointed in himself because he wanted a normal 9-to-5 job, but it just wasn't for him. He personally loved just making music and writing movie scripts. That was his true passion and fucking gal. So he said as he got a little older, pushing 20, and got tired of getting by doing dodgy things and having inconsistent money, he had zero direction in life and felt like he was just floating. He didn't even care for money, just got it when he needed it. But the older he got, the more responsibilities he had, so the more money he needed. Plus his love for fucking gal turned into baby mums. So he said one day he was chilling watching TV and someone he knew asked him for something consumable. He didn't have it, but he directed them to the people he knew who did have it. But then he thought to himself, if he did have something, he would have just made a sale, just like that, while he's sitting doing nothing. And that was it. He was already driving, already had major ties in that game, and decided to start his own line, and it weren't long before he was busy non-stop. He said everything just flowed. It's like a portal to money opened from that one decision. At first he had a couple friends, couple local people and the odd family members. I remember him even offering me shit those days. What's it called? Amnesia? Yeah, like I'm gonna take something called amnesia. But he said he saw all the problems that could arise from close people and locals. People expect favours when they know you. There's an entitlement. So he decided to branch out and changed his whole operation very early. And ended up with what he calls a professional line. Just everyday working people were his clients. No unemployed or hood rats. I interjected at this moment. I said, that wasn't very inclusive, and he told me to shut my mouth. So he went from doing nothing to travelling all over London. Travelling overseas, buying expensive shit, and having expensive experiences often. He said he thought he was a minimalist until he was like, oh, that's nice, and he can afford it. Or, oh, I wouldn't mind going there, and he can afford to. I asked him, since you can afford it, did you ever go Disneyland and hug Minnie Mouse from the back in front of Mickey Mouse, then find out sometimes it's a man inside the Minnie Mouse costume, and either way Mickey don't play about her? He just looked at me and didn't even respond. He said although he was thriving, he felt guilty because he's travelling places where he's sitting next to people who's clearly enjoying their retirement. He's sat in places where people are looking at him like, what do you do for you to be in here with us? He said he used to feel like he was cheating life by experiencing certain luxuries early. But on the plus side, everyone around him benefited from his gifts. Everyone. So he was completely detached from the normal way of living, but connected to all sorts of people. People that he'd have no business talking to if he was just simply working in a normal job. Nurses, bankers, lecturers, software engineers, art students, barmaids, accountants, builders, models, DJs, producers, pallbearers, dancers. Every profession you can think of, he said he knows so much shit about so much different places all through these people. Because the majority of them would be complaining to him about something to do with work or someone from work every time he met them. And through that, it gave him more connects to other areas of life. He was able to really branch out. There were many negatives, but he knew he was lucky because many people around him doing the same thing locally was getting caught while he was up and down undetected. I asked if there were any close calls and he said he knew he was a lucky person because one time he was looking after a well-known plug's phone line while the plug was on holiday. So his activity level tripled. He was in and out constantly, but the whole time he was worried about getting caught with the plug's phone and messing up his business. Getting tied into a court case and all of that, whatever. Anyway, it went fine. He adapted and the plug came back after a week, so he was back to his normal operations. Then he said a couple days afterwards, he randomly got pulled over by the police. He didn't have anything on him, it was morning time, the school run. But the police told him his MOT had expired 2 weeks ago. He couldn't believe his ears. He said his jaw dropped, so that the police saw how shocked he was, they allowed him to go straight to the MOT centre. But he was really shocked because he just found out that whole time during his increased activity level, he was driving around illegally. Shit could have gone so much worse. So he said from then he knew he was lucky, too lucky. And that was early on in his journey, and that same luck followed him throughout. So after a clean run for years, he thought to himself, quit while he's ahead. He's made more than enough and just decided to switch lanes. I think there's more to that story on why he stopped, cause who just switches from a cash cow like that? Then again, it's the fish. He said he believes being a friendly, welcoming, low-key and lucky person was the reason for his success. And he loved meeting new people and knowing how to relax them, as many was not used to someone consistent, honest and friendly. So through one person, he'd get 15 more through recommendation. So his line grew and grew over the years. There was never a day where he never made money. So being in a world like that and putting anxious people at ease worked in his favour, cause there's thousands of hustlers selling the same shit. So what makes you different? I asked if he felt it was morally wrong. And he said as far as he could tell, he weren't ruining anyone's life. People have casual needs and that's where the money is. Everyone he worked with had money and stable jobs, looked presentable. He didn't have nitties lining up like The Wire. He wasn't sending youngers up cunch or being sent up cunch to sleep on some rat shit infested couch. I said that's cool, but you know you're still viewed as a piece of shit to society, right? Not to knock you off your moral high horse or anything. Then he gave me that look as if to say I should mind my mouth. He said he was very selective from early on. He didn't deal with unlucky down and out people who may have had to steal to get the money and stuff like that. Avoid the unlucky, as they say. But anyone with bad luck or bad energy, he didn't want their money. He was very wary of whose energy he was dealing with, because these things rubs off on you, especially if it's in a transaction. So he said some of it was luck, but a lot of it was also him using his instincts. He considers himself a very, very good people reader. That's why I said, you know it's because you're a Pisces, right? And he brushed it off. He don't really believe in that stuff. He's a little into numerology though. Life Path 9 gang stand up. So that was his story. I'm not fully sure what he's doing now. He wouldn't say. I could swear he's an escort, but I'll wait until he tells me. Don't ask why I think that. But anyway, hustlers are easily born in Pisces. We just know how to combine dreams or greed with people and materials. But if you're a Pisces who has a dream of being some sort of creative like a painter and you do it for free in your spare time, I recommend you at the very least get yourself a part-time job whilst you work on your dream on the side. There's nothing wrong with working. I know some of us Pisces can have issues with it, even the concept of it. But there's some decent jobs and managers out there, or you can legally hustle. eBay, Etsy, Amazon. You can hustle on those places. If you enjoyed school and had a clear career path from early and are now settled in a stable career, then I'm happy for you. Cause this Pisces shit is not easy. Nothing good comes from the streets, and PTSD is real. It's painted as a cool picture, the rappers even talk all about it, but it's not good from what I hear. It is how it is in the movies. And for anyone hustling, you'll know the names Rich, Poor, R-A-Z and Alpo. There are many Alpos in this game from what I've heard, and Alpo being a Gemini should not surprise anybody star sign wise. A dark-sided Gemini anyway. And to give them some credit, I knew a Gemini hustler that if you was there when he was reeing up, he's going to be handing out some free buds of that new pack just to show some love, so they're not all bad. No, wait, I lied. He wasn't all good because the last time I heard of him, some girl was running around saying he ran off with some loan money and left the gun under her kid's mattress. That's not funny. But yeah, she was trying to track him down. So yes, that Alpo Gemini shit is valid. But on the real, that's the real of that world in regards to snakes. Money, chasing highs and lows, but death and prison for the majority. Well, death will meet us all anyway, but prison is very likely. And that's a different world within itself, whether Pisces rules it or not. Then there's the switching cars, switching spots, checking for tracking devices, ducking police, avoiding the robbers who rob hustlers, having to protect yourself in ways that could instantly get you 5 years in the can, in the UK, or even life if someone tries you and you got it on you. Risking your life and freedom every single day. Clients accidentally getting you into shit because they've called you to their area after falling out with their regular person in that area, and now you're seen as operating on their turf for going there. People indirectly get killed for all that shit, or at least bullet holes in their car. And this is the same thing worldwide. I don't care where you're listening from, it's the same structure. That's why you need to be aware of what and who you're dealing with, but also having people who love you constantly worried about you, it's all long. And some are doing that all for the same money they'd make working an ordinary job. There's other options to make money, legal ways. It may not be as quick or cool to tell people about, but with the right savings or investing mindset, it's doable. It's not a race. Just because you can adapt doesn't mean it's always good. This is more for the younger Pisces growing up. There's many cons to it. The pros just makes it sound all good. And if you're serious in that game, your phone is on 24/7. Like you're never at rest, mentally. Even if you're resting, you're always expecting to make a move. You're always ready to leave your house. You won't actually deep it when you're in it. Staying in your house or in a productive place and just putting all your energy, your soul into what you love is the way for Pisces. We can indirectly get money this way. Money don't buy true happiness, I can tell you that. The Pisces guy with that story said the same thing about money not bringing happiness. I mean, he said that whilst getting into his new plate car and looking at his Rolex, but it's still true. It's needed for a normal life, but it does nothing for the soul. It's more a tool than a goal. And all these things I'm talking about, you can get it through a job or your own creativity. Even start you up a channel and share your stuff, share your thoughts. Start streaming, try your luck there. Like, us Pisces can really shine in this modern day because it pays to be creative now. It always has, but it's more easier now. The Pisces guy said that what he really enjoyed the most about that world was the freedom he had, even though he was risking it every day. He'd come home with a clear head, with the bonus of money in his pocket. But think about it, he could have had that same experience doing Uber Eats or some shit. Not as much money, but you get the point. But just from the reality of knowing that you could earn from being creative, or how easy it is to start a website and sell what you make or offer your services, in this day and age, you don't need to touch the roads. You can still be that pampered Pisces princess, male and female. We're minimalist, but us Pisces do love some luxury. I'll have me a luxury trip and experience any day. I'll rather spend money on experiences. I love me some Venusian shit. Oh yes I do. Am I right, ladies? Am I right, fellas? You know you're a Pisces queen too. You go, girl. For any Pisces in the game right now, male and female, you Pisceaners aren't slick. I know many of you in there. And I know there'll be many who's up in there listening to this for the fact this is Pisces' dark side. Have a realistic exit strategy. Have a number and make that, then leave with a goal of what you're gonna do with the money when you leave. Money alone should not be the goal, because you'll always need more. That's the trap. More money, more problems. You can't coast in that lane. Everyone eventually gets pulled over. It doesn't matter how lucky you get. That shit can run out even if it's temporarily. Some are lucky to still have their people run operations for them if they do get caught. So after they do their time, they come out to years worth of money, but not everyone's got it like that. Some lose it all when they get caught, and some kind of places an extra burden on others to step in for them, and the game's the game if you're in it. You will have to take on that responsibility. The hustling world is one of the biggest traps out there. It's a vicious cycle, and the people who's at the top of it is not who you think it is. Some things are purposely green lit when it comes to exporting and importing. It's a game of cat and mouse. There's people in and out of prison constantly from illegal hustling because that's all they know. I know people on suspended sentences who was back hustling the very next day after court. Meaning if they get caught, they're going straight to serve that time. And don't care, because that's all they know. That's their hustle. That's how they make money. Stuck in the cycle. I know people who was doing it when I was a kid and are still in the same position now. I know people who hustle to consume, literally just using it to pay for their habit. That's the easiest way to get stuck in the loop, being a consumer of what you sell. As Pisces people anyway, we've got much more to achieve than be caught in a materialistic cycle where most don't actually make it out. And for any older Pisces having a midlife crisis wanting to switch career, hustle legally if anything. Try start up an OnlyFans. Those Piscean toes might be the key to raking in thousands. Retirement age and pension don't affect the street hustle. You can do that when you retire if you like. From a fish can sell water to a fish who's already surrounded in it. How easy do you think it is for a fish to sell water to a human? It's even easier because it's something they can't do without. Money is a stream. Cash flows. Emotions are key to money. They will tell you logic and reason is. Pisces will tell you emotions is. In a world that deals with scales and flake, of course a fish will excel in it. Pisces is literally the opposite sign to the sign that represents the structured 9-to-5 work world. But what does a Pisces know? They're just a broke hopeless fish with a wishbone.